What's happening, guys? Hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. If you celebrated, if not, that's okay. Hey, so I had my friend Orrin Thompson come over, big OT, Duke football player, went and played in the NFL, and you'll learn a little bit about what I mean by play, as he will loosely put it. He participated for the Green Bay Packers, the Miami Dolphins, the New York Giants, and then his career went into the United Football League and then finalized in the Canadian Football League with the Edmonton Eskimos. Talks about that, talks about his brother being drafted by the Packers, playing on that team, and then what he's doing now as a trainer here in Charlotte, North Carolina, and then continues on to talk about, some of the things that he's learned in his athletic career, advice that he gives to the kids that he trains, as well as we talk Duke, North Carolina rivalry. We had to talk about it. As a Duke fan, I had to bring it up. If you live in North Carolina or if you live in the U.S., you know that Duke Carolina is a big rivalry, especially in basketball, but it transcends to all the sports, and he talks about that in the football arena. And then we finalize it with who he is as a husband and as a dad, and what the future again holds for Orrin. Great conversation, good back and forth. Appreciated him coming by. Hope you guys enjoy it. Thanks. Welcome to 2 Cents Worth. I'm your host, Ryan DeFavor. I am here with Mr. Orrin Thompson, former NFL, UFL, CFL offensive lineman, as well as former Duke defensive lineman. So you made the switch. So he is here in Charlotte. We went to high school together, which seems to be a theme on my podcast so far, except for one guest, Mike Claudio, but everybody else has been Charlotte Christian, which I think just speaks to how great of an athletic school we were and continue to be. I mean, I should be a part of the Hall of Fame there, I think, but as a Division II athlete coming out of there. But in all seriousness, so we have Orrin here. He played for the Packers, the Dolphins, the Giants, and then a couple of UFL teams, and then the Edmonton Eskimos is how you finished up. So
and you use that word "play."
You were a part of the team.
Term.
No, you were a part of the team. You helped.
That is true. I helped.
I would say you helped prepare the team to play.
Yes,
that's fair.
A lot of helping.
Okay,
and I say that, and people get mad at me because I keep it real. All my friends, I'm the most objective person of all time. Like, people say, "Oh, you played?" And I was like, "No, I was on the team. I was practice squad. Was active a little bit." But they're like, "Oh, but it's like it's so hard to get there." I understand it's hard to get there. I was there for a little bit, but I was no playing involved. Preseason a little bit, but there wasn't any playing. Not really, because you talked about it a little bit. The transition from D line to offensive line. And I'll tell you how I made the change. So at Duke was D lineman. Signed with the Dolphins and was going through the mini camp there. And the offensive line coach saw me walking down the hall, stopped me. I was like, "What's up, coach? How you doing?" He's like, "Let me shake your hand." Shakes my hand, like holds onto my arm. "You got some pretty long arms there." I was like, "Thanks, coach." He's like, "You're going to be offensive lineman now." I was like, "Oh. Okay." He's like, "Well, you can stay in the defensive lineman room as well. We'll just bring an extra jersey out there for you, and you'll switch it back and forth." It's like, all right. I mean, I want to make the team.
Yeah, right.
Whatever I got.
You're going to do what you have to do.
Yeah. Eventually, it got phased out, and now I found myself in the offensive line room the entire time.
And we're going to bounce back to some of the other things, but you brought it up, the transition. So for those that see the NFL or a novice of the NFL or just watching on a regular basis, I can tell the differences between an offensive line and a defensive lineman from just the basics. Outside of the basics of, okay, you've switched a position, now you're more into even though you're on the offense, you're more of in a defensive position because now you're guarding against the defense. Yes. What was that transition like? Like growing up as playing your high school and college career as a defensive lineman and going, well, now I got to change my entire mentality outside of mentality and kind of just like the basics. What's that transition look like for you?
It was awful To be honest with you.
Okay.
Now, again, I was D-line, and I always had this mentality of I'm on the good side, even though, I mean, it's not good or bad, but I was a dog just waiting to eat, like looking for a hunt. And then you switch to offense, and it's more cerebral. Like, those guys are so smart, you have to be. They gave me the playbook. Looks like a dictionary.
Oh, yeah.
And you've got adjustments for everything. And I was just swimming. Like, I've never played offensive line before. Not only that, the terminology, the ideas of defenses. I knew it a little bit because I played D-line, though.
Right.
I'll tell you, go right, go left. I mean, it's not rocket science.
Right,
so
yeah.
Just learning that, and then it's all technical too, like step here, body control. You've got to be offensive but defense, because the guy coming at you, he gets getting paid too. They're good, and they're trying to run you over.
Mm-hmm.
Not only do I have to know what I'm doing, but then I have to be very physical and know when to attack, but be patient. And it's just, I was swimming.
So what position on the O-line did you play?
Left tackle, and that's
tackle.
Also, so that's the
Okay.
high dollar position. I went from trying to keep someone off me and tackle quarterback, to you're the high dollar position. I was not taught anything.
Yeah.
The coach at the time was the old fella. He's like, watch the older guys, and you'll know what to do.
That's an interesting way of learning.
Watch, and you'll know what to do. So I'm like, all right, man. Not only was that just destroying my confidence, but at the time, Jason Taylor was the end.
Okay. So that's who you're going up against.
Every day in practice. He is just tearing me up. And he was a great guy, though, great guy. So he passed me, obviously, very fast. Swim moves there, here and there, and picking me up. I'm 300-plus pounds. He's just destroying me. And every time he did, he'd be like, listen, this is what I'm looking at. This is what you should do. This is why I did that. And he was really the big teacher for me in Miami. But it was hard, man. It was hard.
That's funny. A defensive end is your biggest teacher or mentor for an offensive lineman. Yeah. But I can imagine, like, the footwork is completely different.
Yeah. Balance.
And like you said, the high dollar position. Now you're protecting the face of your franchise on a every single week basis, as well as just the way that the NFL is now. Like everybody is protecting the quarterback. So your offensive lineman
protecting the quarterback.
That's what I'm saying. In the NFL, they make all these rules now to protect the quarterback because it's the face of basically the NFL, not just the franchises. And so the offensive linemen get put on blast a lot. So it's a much more high profile position than it used to be. I would say it's not a luxurious position, I think, as you would know, right? You guys don't get a lot of the credit when things go right, but when something goes bad,
they call you out. They call your name,
You know,
so that's what they say. If they know who you are as an offensive lineman, you're in trouble.
Yeah. All right, so let's go back just real quick because I want to talk about who you are. So for those of you listening, if you don't know Orrin and you walk into a room, you introduce yourself. Who's Orrin Thompson?
I'm a fun guy. I'm obviously a very large individual. Everyone that I meet new always says when I first met you or saw you, I thought you were the meanest person in the world. Because I always got this look on my face. I think it's wrestling bitch face for a guy. But
okay.
I like to joke. I like to talk. Was actually born in Jersey, moved to Georgia, lived there for a while, ended up having an opportunity to move to North Carolina for school, for college, because of some of the programs they're doing for high schoolers. Thought getting college a little better, get a good education. So we moved up here, been here ever since. But yeah, I love sports. Tempted to still play sports. I like teaching people. You know?
Yep.
And I'm very opinionated, so
which is good. This is why you're going to be great for this. So you said it. You're a large individual. You are 6'6".
6'6", 3/4 actually. Well, actually, I'm getting
6'6"
older
and
now.
3/4. You're shrinking.
As we get older, we shrink a little bit with barefoot. So I like to say I'm 6'9" in my heart. 7 foot even.
So regardless, 6'6". I'm 6. I say 6 foot, but I'm 5'11" and 3/4. Okay. But I'm 6. I'm going to give myself that quarter inch. But I just remember in high school and like college and everything, just you are a polarizing figure just by the size. Like, I remember watching you play high school basketball, and on the court, you didn't 15. Shoot, how long ago did we graduate? Almost 20 years ago.
A long time ago.
Yeah, God almighty, we're getting old. Almost 20 years ago, you didn't see a lot of guys your size on a basketball court, and then on a football field in some of these smaller schools like we went to. But yeah, you're a big guy, but I would have a different opinion of you. I don't have that opinion of you're a mean individual. I've always had great experiences with you. Even when we first met, I was like, this guy is he's just a nice individual, and
I agree.
He's very approachable. But yeah, no, that's funny that there's people out there that they look at you, and maybe it's just because of you're a big guy. So at your playing weight, what were you at?
Well, as you say that, like in high school, I was probably 215 at 6'7" very skinny. Call it wiry now. But that actually is a story in itself. Was a basketball player. Loved basketball. Didn't really want to play football. Coach Jones, the great Bobby Jones, the greatest player of all time in my book.
Oh, jeez. All right.
I love him. He's like another father to me. But told me, listen, you're going to be a guy on our team. We got to get you more physical. And I was like, okay, whatever I got to do. He said, go out and play football. I think the football coach had a conversation with him because when we first got to Charlotte Christian, the football coach came up to him and was like, we need you. You're a big body, a skinny big body, but we need all the bodies we can get. And I was like, nah, football's not for me. My brother played. I'm going to stick with basketball. So might have had a conversation with Coach Jones. Coach Jones comes to me like, we need you to play football, get more physical to dominate on basketball. So I was like, all right, cool. Went out and liked it. I didn't play much my first year. Had some seniors that played most of the time, but just picking it up, learning. It was cool. But 215, biggest attribute I had was running, which I hate to do now. But
yeah, I think we're all like that.
Yeah. I'll run anything down. Like someone's running, I'm running after them, trying to tackle them. So when I decided that I was going to play football in college, I had to gain weight. I'll tell you a story about 215. So for the football team, we lifted. You had to put your body weight on the bench and do it as many times as you
can.
Yeah. So 215, put it on there. It crushed my chest. And that's when I had the realization that I needed to gain weight, get stronger. So by the time I went to Duke for freshman football orientation, I was about 240.
Okay.
Played DN. Gained a couple more pounds, probably 250 by the end of freshman year. Sophomore year comes along, my head coach is like, Orrin, we have an issue. We don't have any D tackles. You're our guy.
Oh, yeah.
You got to gain more weight. So gained about 25 more pounds, about 275. And the problems with gaining weight I had before was now losing weight issue.
Yeah, right.
So I kept on gaining. Was still pretty athletic. By my senior year, I was about 315, 320.
Gain 100 pounds in 2-3 years, 4 years.
And apparently that's not normal because I kept on getting drug tested.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Very, very often, actually. And even had a guy come in and I did a article about weight gain, drugs, steroids in football. So
really?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I never had that problem. When you're 160 and 5'11", entering your senior year in college, and then I was, my junior. I think I was like 190 when I actually left. Like, the NCAA wasn't drug testing me. They're like, listen, this skinny bitch he's not taking anything. Like, actually, we probably should let him take something. I remember a story, and I don't know why I remember some things, but this one always stood out in my mind, and I want to talk about just like at that size, at that level of football, Division I. I remember you came home from it might have been a weekend or whatever, and it was that whole thing of like you gained weight, and some of us were like, how'd you do it? I remember you telling me, you're like, literally after every day they would buy us a full pizza, and that is what I had to have to gain weight. Like the diet they put me on was eat everything you possibly can.
Everything you possibly can.
And we're going to work out the rest of it through workouts and everything else, but your job is to eat as many calories as you possibly can. And you told me, you're like, I literally eat a full pizza every single night.
Every single night. And wings. So after every game, they usually have a full pizza for us, for every player. And then since I was, again, the new D tackle, I had to eat even more. So literally had a pizza and wings every night.
So in Division I, at a big school like Duke, and the program's come a long way since we were both in college. But what is it like for like diet and everything? Do you have a set diet? Do they have set meals for you guys when you're traveling? Like, what is it like if you're going to tell somebody that's entering? Because right now, and we'll get into what you're doing now, of training athletes that have the potential to go Division I or in Division I. What is some of the advice, or the I don't even want to say advice, but kind of the just, hey, this is what you're going to walk into. Mm-hmm. What's it like to being a Division I football player with the people watching over you? And
yeah, very structured. Actually, one of the first things I was told going to college, especially at a program like Duke, is you have to be in order with your stuff. Like, it's time management. Like, everyone wants to go to college, party, hang out, but when you have 5 a.m. workouts and go straight to class, you then have practice, you have to finish your homework, and you have all the other small things that you have to do, you have to stay structured. You have to have your ducks in a row. But with the meals, everyone's different. So you have some guys that are on a calorie deficit. Some are trying to gain weight. Mm-hmm. So most of our meals had kind of like the Brazilian steakhouse, the little card.
Yeah.
The red and
the green.
Red and green. They had red, green, and yellow. If you're a guy that can eat whatever he wants, you fill up on the greens. If you're on the cusp, you can have red, green, yellow. If you're a lose guy, you better stay with the greens. Like, you don't touch those reds.
Yeah.
Which is usually fried food and stuff.
Okay.
But very structured. They have most of the things in order for you.
So they have like a full-time nutritionist, or just
yeah,
okay.
Nutritionist, full staff, man. It's big time. Even though you're not getting paid big money.
Yeah, right. I was going to say these programs make a lot of money, and that's a whole other discussion that we can have at a later date, because I have my own opinion on it.
As do I.
You make all that money, and they don't see any of it, and then they leave the program, and not everyone makes the NFL. Mm-hmm. Not everybody makes college basketball. But that's we can get into that. All right, so we're Duke, and you lived it. Yeah, let's go Duke. I'm a Duke fan. All right. Especially in basketball, it's a really great start to the year. Carolina's good, but I mean, this is an incredible freshman class that they have at Duke. You lived it. Mm-hmm. What is the Duke Carolina rivalry like? We don't have to talk football, just overall.
Let's talk it all.
We'll talk it all. I want to know, what is Duke Carolina living it rivalry? Because listen, we live in North Carolina, we live in Charlotte, we see a lot of I'm an outside fan, I have my own opinions, but I've never lived it, so I want to hear from somebody that's lived it.
Yeah, it's the gnashing of teeth. No matter okay, let's get to the point first. When I was at Duke, we weren't very good. We had
but neither was Carolina. I have all the stats up here as well.
They had some years that they were really good, but there's certain I say reasons that I believe we weren't very good. But besides that, no matter what the record were at the time, you're going to get a great game. It's just, give an analogy here. It's like you got a girlfriend, you break up, she starts seeing this other dude, and you meet him one-on-one in the hallway. It's on, It's on. It's a dogfight. Even this, okay, I went to the game this past week. Carolina is not very good. Duke's having a pretty good year, and it was a great game. It does not matter records, because you're bringing everything you have, laying on the line, because you're trying to ring that bell.
Was that all? I mean, it has to be, right? It has to be circled on the schedule every year. Like, that's what you're going to fight for, because it's the last game of the year. Most of the time, right?
Usually. I think they changed that now. It's no longer the last game. Scheduling reasons. I'm not sure why, but a lot of my former teammates were like, I don't care if we win the bowl game. We got to beat Carolina.
Yeah. So like a lot of big college rivalries, there is a trophy per se that the winning team gets. For you guys, it's the victory bell.
Victory bell.
That every time I watch that game, everybody runs to that corner of the field and wants to ring that thing as loud as they possibly can. And I'm sure I'm seeing it. What was it? 2000? What year is this one? 2003. You guys beat them at their place.
Yeah.
How does that feel in a rivalry like that?
It was awesome. Let's give a little background. So the year before, again, we weren't very good. I think they were pretty good. At our house, we used to have this big helmet. Like Duke fans would know, we all ran out of it. So games pretty much even the whole time. We're winning. Fourth quarter. They kick, the kicker, I forget his name. Anywho, kicks this monstrous field goal to win as the clock's ticking down. So he does his whole airplane dance around the whole field and goes and drop kicks our helmet, pops that bad boy. We're livid. So right there, it's a nasty taste in our mouth. Next year, it's on. So we go to their place. We beat them. We beat them pretty good, if I remember. I might have been just daydreaming at the final score on that. I don't really know. But we had plans to go rip up their bushes. we were going to do it all, man. Just
30-22, you guys won that game.
But hey, that's an ass whooping.
The year before it was 23-21 for them because of the field goal, right? So 30-22 is an ass kicking. We'll take it.
So again, plans to just demolish anything, rip up anything, break anything we could, and our coach somehow found out about that plan and was like, "If you touch anything, you will not be happy next practice." So we didn't do anything, but it was a great victory, man. We painted that bell right then and there. Got some spray paint. It's just great.
So you get to paint it.
Yeah, you paint it too.
Your colors.
Your colors.
Okay, and so then it sits on it. You own it for the year.
For the year, yeah.
And then you get to retain it if you win and whatnot. Okay. So I just want to know from an outsider's view, like what it's like. But it obviously,
it's awesome.
It's palpable, right? Yeah. Like your energy's up for that game, even though you take records out of it. Right, like you said, like Duke's having a good year this year, Carolina's not, but it's still that
great game.
Every person on both sides is going to come to that game going, we're going to beat their ass. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, cool. Well, that's I wanted your perspective on it because I haven't gotten to live it, but that's fun. Anything stand out in your college career that outside of Carolina that just resonates with you still?
Just the guys, man. The guys that I fought with every weekend. Again, because our record wasn't good, but a lot of them didn't give up, and we just prepared. And no matter again, we weren't very good, but we were playing like the Florida State when Florida State was Florida State, and we knew that if we just kept fighting, we might have a chance. And most of the time we didn't have a chance, but we prepared like it every time. And just those fellas, man, that were continue to work and work and work, no matter if the outcome's good. Because that's what, getting a little coach speech here, but that's when you really win.
Yeah.
A loss is just a learning opportunity. And if you can keep fighting, keep working, even if on the scoreboard it's saying you're losing and you can learn from it, we're winners, man. So just those guys, man. It was a good time.
Yeah, so, and I have to imagine you implement that in your day-to-day, right? Like you as a family man and then also in your job. Like you just, no matter, what the outcome might be, the preparation and then, just the fight is what you have to do to, shit, in general, just survive, I guess. But as an athlete, you mentioned a couple things, time management, is one thing, and then also that desire that we have as just athletes, and you don't have to be a college athlete, just an athlete growing up or whatever, or an athlete not growing up. Now you're an athlete. You become interested in. I had my buddy on last week. He talked CrossFit, right? So like CrossFit now is big and into basically what I like to call competitive exercise. And that's okay. But you have that drive, and it does come into your everyday professional life, and then as also for your personal life. So for like me and my kids and my wife, it is that drive to always ensure like I'm doing the best for them, providing for the best that I can, and then also helping them as individuals grow and kids grow and get them to be involved in athletics. Compete. Whether I don't care if it's competing for
tiddlywinks.
Right. It doesn't
chest. I'm trying to whip your ass.
Yeah, like I wanna. You have that competitive drive that will help you throughout the rest of your life. I believe, and then time management. I learned time management very quickly in college when you have to go to class. At my school, you had to go to class.
Oh, we did too.
Because
front row. If you're not there,
if you didn't, coach would find out about it because the professor would call the coach. Because it was, for my school at the time, we only had like 1,500 students. So they knew when you weren't there, and they knew what you were there to do. You were there to play baseball. You were there to play football. So if you weren't there to go to class, they were going to call coach. So you learn quickly in athletics on how to manage your time. I believe, and how I manage the team that I have now as in my profession is time management. Time management is always key, and you will be successful. Prioritization, all that stuff you learn as somebody that has been a part of athletics. So you brought it up earlier. I just wanted to kind of touch on it. All right, so let's talk about. We talked about at the first part of it, you going into the NFL, and you said you were on a team, but you didn't play. I mentioned the teams you were a part of, but let's just talk about overall. Everybody wants to hear about the glory stories of like, oh my God, you made it to the NFL and you played and all this stuff. But like, what is it like being on the practice squad of a team?
Oh, it's well. So if you don't know what the practice squad is, it's a group of guys that go through camp. You might not be there yet. They see potential in you, so you pretty much go through all practices. You're the look team. If there needs something to be done, you're doing it. So I'll give you a structure of the week as well. Tuesday you're off. Wednesday it's big day, install. Thursday's install, again big day. Thursday's half practice. You still keying on the install. Friday is kind of a clean it up. Saturday's walkthrough, then you play on Sundays. Well, Wednesdays and Thursdays for practice squad, it is relentless. Like you get there at 6. You have to learn what to do for this case someone gets hurt and you're called up. So you're learning not only your plays, but you got to learn the other team's plays because you got to do it. We want you to do it exactly as they would do it. So it's tiring mentally, physically, and you're beat to hell really Wednesday and Thursdays. But as you heal, you can kind of turn your mental aspect off. Again, if someone gets hurt, you're up. But the breather is Sunday. You get to just watch. But
are you at the stadium?
Some teams are different. So we actually at Miami, we actually were on the field on the sideline. Green Bay, they had a box for us, a little suite. It was nice. You can see. That's actually next to the other owner. The guys owners, mess with them a little bit, but it's fun time. Fun time.
I think what you just said, Miami being on the field, nice weather. Green Bay, I definitely wouldn't want to be on the field. Well, I would want to be on the suite.
It's pretty nice though.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not too cold. It's not too bad. Do you not like cold?
I grew up in Rhode Island, man. And I've been here since '99. I don't want to be near cold anymore. I grew up around it. I don't like seeing snow. Like I hate the fact that we get snow in February here. It drives me nuts. Meanwhile, my kids are like, "It's awesome." I'm like, "This sucks." Like I hate snow. And then it turns to ice. All right, so Miami, 3 years.
1.5.
1.5.
Yeah, almost 2.
2 years, and then picked up by Green Bay.
Green Bay. Yeah.
And then
I had a short stint at the Giants for off season. Actually, as I was getting cut from the Giants, I've been cut. That's another thing I tell people is I've been cut and told to go home so many times.
But you keep coming back.
Keep coming back, man. Yeah.
And that's okay. And then why is that?
Again, keep competing.
Yeah.
Always compete. Always keep inching forward. But got an offer for a UFL team. That's United Football League. Actually had some pretty good plans for that league. It dissolved though. That's a whole nother conversation. But good football players. Most of the guys. So if you don't know the structure of NFL, there's 53 guys on the team. You got your practice squad. Well, if you do the math on how many college teams are and seniors and guys that are trying to play pro, there's a lot of people, a lot of good talents out there. So there are a handful of players that have no place to go. So UFL was kind of a minor league system where the guys are still good. They could make teams, which a lot of guys have, and would play a series of games. So got an opportunity to do that. Did that for 4 years. And by that time, I was actually okay. So I started all 4 years, left tackle.
Yeah.
Again, continually trying to get better, because at that position, again, it's repetition for having your body to do what you want to do without really knowing, and have a late start. I was way behind the 8 ball again at the left tackle position. I would have been better to start at like guard, where I don't have to have the footwork perfect. I don't have to cover as much space. It's more of like a wrestle with a bigger guy than to have a guy that's 260 running a 4.44, benching the world and trying to put me on my ass.
Yeah,
but,
right.
Again, that's what it is. But got better, got to continually better. That dissolved, and then did a couple years in Canada, which is another similar but totally different league. It's a whole bunch of passing.
So I want to talk about two things that you mentioned in there. One, Green Bay, and you were there, and you just missed.
Oh, no, I didn't just miss. I was there with the man, the legend.
Okay, I was going to say, you were there, and then your brother gets drafted.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But
that was
then,
awesome, by the way. The way they told me. So the GM comes down and is like, "Hey, Orrin, what's up, man? So your brother's in college right now." I was like, "Yeah." He goes to Wake. He's like, "He's doing really good." He's like, "We want him." And I was like, "Oh, yeah. I mean, what's that supposed to mean?" He's like, "Well, no, we're going to get him." So I was like, "Awesome. That'd be great." So it was awesome having him there. We had a little party for his for being drafted. And then when he actually got there, it was awesome, but at the same time, it was kind of weird because I'm offense now.
Yeah.
He's a D end linebacker, so like we saw each other a lot.
He's competing against you.
Yeah, 1-on-1. And did a couple of interviews, and that people would ask me about like, what's that like? And I was like, as soon as we crossed those lines, I don't know him.
Yeah, okay.
I'm trying to whip his ass just like anyone else. So it was fun though. It was fun.
So, and those are two different paths again, right? You were signed as a free agent. And your brother signed as a free agent and then had to switch positions. Yeah. Your brother drafted 4th round by then? Yeah. Okay. See, I did my research, man. I did some reading. So 4th round out of Wake Forest, and he played a couple years and got hurt, and basically that was it, right? Yep. But at least so you guys were in Green Bay together.
Yep, together.
So that's cool. So again, I've had a couple people on here. Again, just talking about athletic families, you are the middle of 3. So
3 boys. We got an older sister as well.
Yeah, 3 boys, and so 4 kids. I've never met your sister. I know.
Oh, she's much older.
Yeah. Okay. So I know your 2 brothers. All 3. We talked about you, Orrin. All 3 are large humans.
Pops is big. Mom's is pretty tall. So we came out.
You've made some big kids.
Yeah, hopefully. Younger brother Jeremy's got quite a few. I'm working with 1, but we want monsters. I'm trying to create a monster.
Listen,
create a player. 1
or 2 is enough. I don't know any more than that.
Yeah.
I don't know how people do it. Good for them. So they're just an athletic family. I had Mike Metcalf on, athletic family. Bard. Similar situation, right? So for them, 3 boys, 2 of which make it to the pros. Daniel made it to the pros, and Luke is a pro. So for you guys, what's that like as a family? Like the 2 brothers of 3 and 4, but 2 of your family members are in professional sports. Like as a family, like sitting around the dinner table, not at Thanksgiving because the NFL is happening during that time, but like picture a family dinner. Like what's that look like? Are you sitting there going, I'm a professional athlete, my brother's a professional athlete? Is it like that, or is it just like, nope, just growing up, that's my younger brother over there that I beat up my entire life?
And I was going to bring that up. So the first question is, how are we together? We don't really talk about that kind of stuff. It's just like a be in your presence family, especially my younger brother. We would just hang out, maybe 3 words spoken. It's just the fact that you're next to me, or maybe watching TV, whatever it be, but just hanging around each other.
I'd say he's more reserved anyways.
Yeah, very quiet, very quiet. But even when we were up there together, like he beat me a lot, I beat him a lot. As soon as we step off, we go get food and hang out. I mean, again, you're my brother, but when we're conducting business, you're not. Once we step off, we're family again. So,
so you answered it right there, right? Like, think about it. For anybody listening, professional sports, it's business.
Business, yeah.
It's a business. It's like any.
Could be my mama out there,
right?
She straps up, puts some pads on. It's on.
It's game time. So, but it's like any other profession, right? Like me and my wife work at the same company, but when it's at home, I don't talk work because that's what I just did for 8-12 hours today. I don't want to talk about it anymore. Like now it's switched off. So that's what I wanted the perspective there, because you're talking about 1, being in the same profession, and then 2, being on the same team. So that's a different combination. All right. So then talking about beating him up as a
I think that's why he got blessed with. Oh, he's got great genetics already. He looks like a Greek guy. Like I was always really, really skinny. He was kind of skinny too, but he's so much muscle. Like he looks like He-Man, a black He-Man. Thin waist, huge chest, long arms, huge legs. But we used to wear his little ass out, me and my older brother. So I'm middle. My older brother is a year and a half older. He's 3 years younger than me.
Yeah.
So we'd be playing sports, and he's the tag along, as the younger brother usually is. And we would he's going up for a shot. We knock him down. He starts crying. Like, I swear, if you tell mom, it's going to be worse. So, like, that's his whole youth athletic career, is getting beat up by us. Then he starts playing kids that are his own age, and it shows. Like, he's the bully now.
He's toughened up.
Yeah, he's toughened up, and he's the bully. So he actually started, like, at Christian as a freshman for most sports, because we tore that ass up for quite a few years, and now he's physically gifted.
Because he was 2 years younger than me, because you're a year older than me, so I saw him play a little bit, but then it was mostly I watched him basically grow up on television, because watching him at Wake, because the games are going to be televised here. Yeah, that's funny. If anybody wants to look him up, it's Jeremy Thompson. If you want to see a Greek god, according to Orrin, a Greek god.
I shouldn't say that.
Don't give him too much credit.
Get in trouble. But he's actually went through med school. He went to the evil school across the way, in Carolina med school. I'm happy. Hey,
good for him. But
good for him. And he's up at Mayo now.
Okay.
Yeah, doing it big, doctor.
Right. So let's go back. We keep on going back and forth, and I'm okay with it. Let's go back. You mentioned CFL. It's different. It's a passing league. I want to talk about that, because this, for anybody that's listening across the world, Canadian Football League. So you have the NFL, which is in the U.S., and then you have the Canadian Football League, but it's a different size field.
Yes, much bigger.
Much bigger. The goalposts are in the front of the end zone, which I still don't understand because of the safety around it.
Yeah. Oh, so
you have a pole in the middle of the playing field.
Field's bigger, field's wider. It's like a soccer field.
Okay.
Field goal post is in the front. End zones are 10 yards
longer. So how long is the field? 100 and...
Too long.
Yeah, too long.
It's 55. Oh, is that me?
Yeah. That's okay.
My bad.
Don't mind his phone. It's fine. That's why I keep it. That's why I keep it unedited, because this is what happens in real life when you're talking to people.
But it's 55 on each, so 110.
Okay.
And then 20-yard end zones on both sides. I didn't know much of this going up there. So actually,
and you went to Edmonton
Eskimos.
So like you didn't go to like a Toronto or a Vancouver.
No.
You went to Edmonton,
which is not the. I should say. I feel bad about saying this, but not the worst team. Like Edmonton's really nice. Alberta's really nice.
Yeah.
Banff, the little scenic Banff area, beautiful.
Yeah.
Like one of the most beautiful places in the world. There's some cities that aren't so great, that I'm glad I didn't have to live
be a
there.
part of. Yeah,
be a part of. But
you just had to go and play them.
yeah, no rule knowledge at all. Like I got to fulfill another fantasy kind of going up there. So I was 30 years old when I went up there.
Yeah,
a rookie. So they had a kind of like a Hard Knocks of the Canadian Football League.
okay.
It was 5 Americans going up to play football in Canada. I was the 30-year-old rookie, so they came to my house, was asking us a whole bunch of questions. It's pretty cool. I always wanted to be in reality TV.
Yeah.
After doing that, never again.
You realize you don't want to
I
be a
do
part of
not want to
reality
do that. I
TV?
could
Was it
not do that.
scripted?
Yeah, kind of.
See, people, it's not real TV.
Yeah.
You guys are real people,
Real people.
but they're scripted.
All the situations are like, so talk about this, but put it in organically. I'm like, how do we do that? But talk about this, but don't say that, and then make it natural. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, not gonna.
So you got some acting lessons out of it.
yeah. So I mean, it was fun. I don't want to do that though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I went up there a rookie, 30 years old, and just knowing not much about it because there's 3 downs instead of 4, so it's
Okay, I didn't know that.
called a 2 and out now instead of a 3 and out. But a whole lot of kicking. It's mostly special teams. A whole lot of passing. Yeah, I mean, it's good time.
So it seems like it's a lot of different type of conditioning you have to do then for that.
Yeah, a lot more conditioning. I had to lose a few pounds to go up there. But
And what's the fan base like? Because if you're an NFL fan,
Yeah.
the fan bases in a lot of these cities is very rabid, and and a lot of those fan bases will travel. Like
Yeah, it's
you
the
go to
same.
a Panther
It's the
game and
same.
they play the Steelers, half the stadium is Steeler fans. It's just what it is. It's the same up there in the CFL.
they like their football, man.
Stadiums similar or smaller?
A little smaller, but yeah, it'd be packed out and it's loud. Like, I'm thinking of one of the teams, Saskatchewan. They actually cut melons, hollow them out, and wear them on their head. And most of them are
Okay.
shirtless. So the Canadian seasons, it gets cold. Like I think I was up there the first year, and we had a heavy snow, October. Like it was like October 1st.
Ugh.
Heavy snow. These people are out there, melon on their head, no shirt, and just giving us hell, like screaming on the top of their lungs. And it's like,
So it's like the
They-
Bills Mafia.
yeah,
Yeah.
they love football.
Buffalo
man. They
Bills.
love football.
Jeez. Okay. All right. So you get out of the CFL. So then, what do you doing? What do you do once you leave the CFL? You say, okay, football career's on hold or over, right at that time or whatever it is. So what's Orrin doing next?
Well, so I had a kind of a interesting transition after the NFL. I started helping one of my buddies, Hunter Yard, train athletes.
Okay.
Because again, I was getting cut. And
Yeah, right.
It's not going to be forever. I
Yeah.
can't get onto another team and get cut for so long. So I started helping him train, just learning, interning, asking questions. Really, was still playing though. So I'd go play and then get home and then help him train. Did that for quite a few years. And then when I was in Canada, I actually blew out my knee pretty bad. And I'll also say this: I was starting to get sick of football. Like I loved playing in the games, and even looking back at when I was younger and watching the old guys, like not practice. I'm like, come on, man! Like I'm taking your reps and you're playing in the game. That's not fair for me.
Yeah.
But understanding now, like my body's hurting, my knees hurt all the time. Waking up is
Different.
it's a chore now, and just getting your body ready. So in Canada, I had a coach that understood that. Like, you can watch, I can learn from watching and not beat up my body, and then go perform in a game. So I got used to not practicing, and it was a grind. Like knowing I would have to go practice that day, it's like, oh my gosh. But actually, second year, blew up my knee. It was bad, and I had a chance to watch more, start working on the transition after football, because I was ready to go, kind of. So it was a good transition for me. Whereas a lot of guys, they still want to play and they get ousted. It's different mentally. Whereas I think I was.
You were ready.
Yeah, I was ready.
Yeah.
Any people ask me now, like, you're a sound body. This team needs a left tackle. You sure you don't want to? No, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you're what, 35?
36.
36?
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, like you said, getting out of bed's a chore.
Yeah.
You don't want to deal with that for forever.
And really the only thing that you miss is the camaraderie. Again, the guys.
Yeah.
It's the
You keep in touch with
fellowship.
any of them
Yeah,
still?
Yeah.
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 So
Well,
it's,
at least you still have that, right? You have the connection still that you.
yeah, and I have the connection of sport as well, since I am a trainer, so I get a little bit of that without getting beat up all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And is it nice to, because again, giving advice now to these kids that you're training, or adult men, whatever they are, right? Is it nice to have that experience? And again, like you said, walking away on your own terms. Does that help in your training? Like just having a clearer mind and not sitting there going, I should still be out there.
Yeah,
I should still be doing it.
Yeah, no. I'm very clear about that. But it helps to tell them, like, especially being on the cusp most of the years I was playing, and explain to guys, like, just be honest, you're not a first round guy. The amount of work and effort you're going to have to do to maintain and not only get there, but to stay there. I'll tell you about Tuesdays, our off day in the NFL and most leagues. You might go in and work out, hang out, watch a little tape here and there, and you're going to your locker to go shower, to go home, and you got 15 guys walk into the locker room. This happened to me. I was there one time at Green Bay. And he's like, well, he's a big guy. He looks like he plays line. They're working out O-Lineman every Tuesday. So it's like they're actively searching for somebody to take your job. And the mentality of that, just keep working, keep competing, keep grinding, keep kind of trying to get better, because they're always trying to replace you.
They have that contingency plan. They always have to have that, right?
Always.
Especially in that sport.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, a very valuable lesson to anybody that wants to compete in athletics. It is, there's always somebody else.
Better,
hungrier.
Yes.
They might not have as much talent, but they might put more into it.
Yeah.
Because there's always those guys that'll just outgrind you, right? And wear you down and just be like, you know what? They want it more than I do. They're hungrier than I am.
And that's my speech to most of the people I train. Like, you might be gifted physically, athletically, but it only takes you so far. You might be beating up your league right now, but it's maybe a smaller league. Everyone has that moment in their athletic career where the physical blessings and gifts God's given you is not enough.
Yeah.
And you've got to work and make the work match the talent, and then you can further yourself. Without that, I mean, you can be good for a little bit, and then someone that's better is going to beat you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's always, like you said, there's
Always
always
somebody
somebody else.
Working.
And
Yeah.
you brought it up earlier, like the UFL was meant to be basically the minor leagues of the NFL. There's a lot of talent out there that just needs that opportunity. You see it all the time in the NFL. Like people like what was the guy's name? Division III running back, like Danny Woodhead, right? Got an opportunity, made a career out of it.
Yeah.
There's other guys like that. You just get an opportunity, and they want to outwork you.
Exactly. So again, that's all the athletes I train. I've got a kid now that's not getting the offers that he wants. And I'm like, listen, bigger picture here. Think about all the people in the NFL. It's not a league of just D1 guys. They're not all from Alabama, Georgia. There are guys that are small D1, small D2. There are guys that got no offers. Aaron Rodgers, Khalil Mack had one offer. Aaron Rodgers had to go to
He went JUCO.
JUCO.
Yeah.
Then got an offer. Still should probably have been number one overall pick and wasn't. Like, someone's always telling you you're not good enough. All these guys kept working. Maybe you're not ready now. Maybe it's going to be a year or two, but keep working and you will make it if that's what's in your heart. Like, if you continue to grind and work for it, you can do what you're destined to do. but you got to put the work into it.
Yeah, that goes across the board, right? That goes into professions too that are outside of sports. All right, I want to switch gears a little bit, and we're gonna end. We're gonna go full circle. And we're gonna end talking Duke sports, but I want to go back to family. So, one kid, you're married.
Right.
How'd you meet your wife?
Actually, at a AIA function at Duke. She actually played volleyball at NC State. Had some friends that.
Ooh, so you have a split household.
No, we're an ABC family. Anybody but Carolina. It could be any.
It could be anybody.
Any school. I will rock your jersey, go to your game, and cheer for you as long as
it's not Carolina. Okay, all right, that's fair. So no split family. Okay, good.
But went to a party. She was there. Started hanging out, and bam,
and that was it.
That was it.
Okay, and how long you been married?
A long time. 12 years.
Okay, that's. I've been married 11, so don't say it's a long time.
Time.
A long, wonderful time.
Wonderful.
Right?
Oh yeah, I forgot that.
She's not listening to this. It's fine. And if she is, that's good. I need the viewership. No, I'm just kidding. So, 12 years, kid. What do you put in as a husband and a father that you learned through your athletic career? I'm not going to say football, but just being an athlete in general. What are some of the takeaways that you've learned in athletics that you incorporate into your family?
Patience is a big one.
God almighty.
My
Kids will wear you out.
Yeah. He is 100 miles an hour all the time. And just being patient. It's actually helped me in training as well when the kid's just not getting it. And I'm telling them 1,000 ways to Sunday about something, and he's just not getting it. It's just being patient. Stepping back, evaluating the situation, and then trying again. But yeah, just keep working, keep grinding, keep trying to give the best for my family, I guess.
Patience is key. How old's your son?
A little over 2.
Okay, so I have a 6-year-old and a little over 2-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
If you notice, I don't have a lot of hair left, and I'm pretty gray. Patience is key.
Yes.
And let me tell you, even the 6-year-old, it doesn't get any easier.
Oh,
but it is rewarding, so you have a lot to look forward to. And that age of being a little over 2 that's a fun age because they interact with you now.
Yeah,
like it's not just like this kid that just lays there and it's like, hey, this is. I mean, it's my kid. It's great, but like, it's fun. Like, and I hope you enjoy it.
I do, and he's starting to get a little bit into sports as well. Runs around a little bit. I take him to work all the time.
Okay.
And he kicks around the ball. I actually got a video of him on the rowing machine rowing. Pretty funny, but I think he's going to be a pretty good little athlete if he decides to do that. So
yeah, they'll all decide. Like Harrison, my youngest one, just went in the backyard one day, put the ball on a tee, and hit the ball. I didn't teach him it. He just did it. Now he watched Nolan, the older brother, do it, but I never was like, Harrison, come over here, put the ball on here, and he'll just go in the backyard now and hit a ball off the tee for 30 minutes.
Natural.
And he probably has a better swing than the 6-year-old, and the 6-year-old plays t-ball. Again, he's not listening to this. He better not be. I might be a terrible parent and have my kid listen to my podcasts. Any advice from what you've experienced in your career? Any advice to anybody that's looking to try and make it? The NFL, Division I. Doesn't even need to be Division I, but college athletics. What advice do you give to the guys you train? Outside of like, hey, there's always somebody else. Like, what is it? Now looking back, Orrin, you're out of it. You've experienced it. You experienced a different side of it.
Yes.
What's the advice?
It is a business, even though it's a game. The NFL is a great goal, if that's your goal, but it only lasts so long. So the NFL, everyone calls it the not-for-long league because the average is 3.5 years. But I actually talked to a parent the other day and gave him this exact speech right here. Let's say your son is drafted first round. They have a great, call it 12-year career. How old are they? So
33.
Yeah. You retired at 33. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
Luckily, in that situation, that position, you've got a little money that you can work with. Let's say a different route. You make it for the 3 years. You're what now?
25, 26,
25.
maybe 24. You could be a junior out of college,
You
right?
have the rest of your life
Yeah.
to work with. So it's get an education.
Okay.
I can't stand to see all these guys that just want to play football or just want to play basketball, one and done, that leave, don't get the education, but then fizzle out, are broke, retired, and most of them divorced, and have nothing to show for it.
Yeah.
Have no skills, have no degree, and it's just like it's terrible.
It is hard, right? And I think that's, a topic for a different day, but, we mentioned it earlier of potential pay for NCAA players or all this money that goes into it, and then, they leave, and then it came out recently, an ex-player from Michigan State basically saying, like, we're not a part of the family anymore because we're not making them any money.
Yeah.
It's a reality, right? Like, it's a business. So that's, I think that's great advice for anybody that's listening. All right, so let's finish with, I want to talk Duke.
Oh, yeah.
Right? We're in basketball season. Impressive team.
Oh, very impressive.
You're still involved in Duke athletics, right? You go to the games, not basketball per se, but the football and
Yeah, I try to much as I can. So the first question people always ask when I tell them I went to Duke is, did you go to basketball games? I've been to quite a few, most of them illegally, but it's a great time. Like, if you haven't never been to Cameron, it's different than you would think. Have you been there?
I've never been.
Never been there.
No.
Well, think of Latins Gym.
Okay.
Charlotte Christian's Gym. Well, a little bit bigger than Charlotte Christian. All the bigger private schools in Charlotte.
Yeah.
And that's Cameron.
Okay.
It's not big at all.
No,
First
it's
time I was
just
in there, I was like, you got to be kidding me.
Like, this is
it.
where Duke basketball plays basketball. Yeah.
And I've talked to quite a few people. They want to keep it that way.
Yeah.
You can make it a 50,000 seat arena, and it would probably fill out and sell out.
Yeah, right.
But they want to keep it that way because it's the aura, right?
It's like Wrigley or Fenway in
Yeah,
baseball,
man.
right?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you don't want to change.
You don't change
that.
perfection, yeah.
Right?
But I mean, they're doing well. A lot of sports at Duke.
The baseball team's come a long way.
Come a long way.
Football
Golf is
team.
a long way. Coach Cut's making it happen.
Do you have a relationship with him? He wasn't your coach,
No,
but do you have
he
a
was not my
relationship?
coach. Met him. Great guy. Yeah.
Yeah,
Great guy.
because
yeah.
isn't he's like one of Peyton Manning's
the
mentors, or
Manning
even just like
brothers.
a QB coach
And
who
they're
was
there-
for him?
They're there quite a bit.
Really?
In the summers, they do.
Camps there.
I don't know if it's a camp, but they work out.
Okay.
They've got quite a few videos, and they mentor the guys that come through. He's a great dude, man. Great dude. And from my understanding, I think I've heard of the grapevine that some other teams are trying to get him to leave, and he's like, no, man, we started something here. I'm gonna finish it. So
I think it was last year. A couple teams tried to get him. Tennessee might have even been one of them because of just the relationship he has with Peyton and trying to use Peyton to sell him on Tennessee. He has. I mean, look, if you know anything about Duke football, and Orrin, you do, it wasn't the glory days.
no,
right? Like Duke football was for a long time, the team that you would circle and go, well, we got them.
That's homecoming right there.
That's a way. Yeah, they're our homecoming game. But
Yeah.
it's changed, right? Playing
Yeah.
in the ACC championship games now, making bowl games, the stadium's getting renovated. Like there's a lot of great potential into that program that's keeping moving forward. And just Duke in general, like you said, a lot of these sports, and it's a hard school.
Yeah, well, I don't want to give false pretenses. It's very hard depending on what you major in. Like in every school that you see, that some of I like to see the majors in most of these sports. Like when our guys majoring in gym, and that's not the hardest thing to take, versus engineering. But there are very, very, very hard things you can take at Duke. I majored in psychology. It was pretty tough writing papers. I'm not a paper writer.
Yeah.
But as long, and again, a lot of our time management thing we talked about, as long as you do what you're supposed to do, you're okay.
Yep.
They have tutors for you. they help you in any way possible. But when you don't go to class and you miss stuff and you just don't care, that's when it's a little bit of struggle.
Yeah.
Not that you won't struggle, again, because they're trying to actively help. I think most schools do, and for the athletic program, they try to help you. If you're not doing what you're supposed to do, then it gets hard.
Yeah, you got tutors.
Yeah,
you got tutors that travel with you
Yeah.
and those big programs. So I mean, they try.
Mm-hmm.
I want to. When you said the first question, do you go to the basketball games? I thought you were going to say, have you met Coach K?
Oh yeah, I've
Because you talk about a polarizing individual. When you think Duke, I would say 99% of the population is going to go Coach K.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's Duke Coach K. Like, that's what it is. So I thought when you said, like, the number one question I get asked, but it wasn't. I'm surprised.
But I've been asked that too, and I actually snuck into, I can't say most of the story, but I snuck into a practice one time, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
I've heard he's intense.
Very intense.
I mean, you see him on TV in the ref's face and everything.
This is an older Coach K now. This is a Coach K with grandkids now that
Yeah.
he plays with. I'm talking about.
You're talking 20 years ago.
Yeah, this guy was so intense.
Not 20 years ago. I'm making you guys, my guys, us so old. We're not that old.
We are pretty old.
We're in our 30s. We're not that old. So I want to finish off with, because we're talking Duke. It's November.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they're 3-0. When this airs, it'll be on the 25th of November, so after Thanksgiving. So they're heading to Maui now, so they're going to be playing in that. Are they national champions come March? Or, sorry, come April?
Ooh, man.
Can this freshman team do it?
I have hope that they can. I'm again, objective. I'm a realist. They have so much talent because they're big. They're physical. Paul, can I say that, Paul?
Yeah.
They shoot though as well, and from the past games I've seen, it looks like they play some defense. Because years before we had the one and dones, and it's like, yeah, they can score if they're scoring, they're scoring, but they don't play D.
Yeah.
They look like they might have it all. They're deep. They've got a little bit of moxie. I think they can, barring injury. I think that's the thing.
If they can stay healthy, and they do have a decent balance of, at least you have Bolden, who is older, so he's been there before.
Mm-hmm.
But they are physical,
They're
man.
physical. They can shoot though. That's the thing. That they're physical and are shooters. Like these guys are. They don't make them.
I mean, 3 games in, Zion averages 25 points,
Yeah.
and he's 82% from the field. Now,
Yes.
that does include all the dunks that he has.
Yes, it
but
does.
regardless, impressive numbers 3 games in.
And I was not sold on him. Watching some of his highlights from high school, it's like this guy can't shoot, but he's been working. He's been working on it.
All right, so you got to answer the question. You didn't answer it. Are they national champions?
I'm gonna go with yes.
You heard it here. Yes.
Yes.
From a former Duke athlete.
Yeah. What year is it?
What year is it?
2018.
2018. They're going to be national champions come April of 2019.
19. I believe it.
And maybe I'll get you back on in April, and
Talk about it.
and hopefully they're there they're in the at least the national championship. That's all I got for you. You got anything else? Anything else you want to talk about? I got all the time in the world, man.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna. I just listened to that CrossFit spiel.
Yeah?
Yeah, and it's interesting, the sport of working out. And I was going to add that a lot of what you said is true about the experience of the athletes doing CrossFit. Like, you can't expect someone that doesn't know what they're doing to bodyweight deadlift 1,000 reps as fast as they can, and I think that's the problem, or why people are scared of CrossFit, the injury aspect of it. I think again, you alluded to it. If you have coaching, it makes a big difference, because the gym that I work at, we do HIIT training, a lot of the same stuff, but the things we stay away from are a lot of the CrossFit things, like the snatches, anything over your head. You don't really need, like, let's be honest.
It's dangerous too, man. I don't like putting 200 plus pounds over my head.
Yeah, it's not necessary.
Look, I'm getting too old for that shit. Like, I don't want to hurt myself.
And then, so again, I have so much respect for the elite of CrossFit. Like, again, people watch the CrossFit games and are like, these guys and gals' bodies are amazing.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they are. Like, that's the greatest workout you can do is a HIIT. Like, you have great bodies. You're muscular, low body fat. But then if you actually look and you follow them for a while, the tops change quite a bit. And if you research why, most of them are hurt.
Yeah. Yep. Look, I think anything that's going to help a person be healthy is a great thing. Mm-hmm. Just my understanding of it, and like you said, the athletes in there that are there, they're athletes and they're great. The concern is just the fact that Olympic lifting is not somebody that's a novice. And I know in the classes that they teach you and everything, but like not every person is the same, and not every person wants to listen. Like, I could go into a CrossFit today and be like, I know how to do a snatch. I've done them before, but maybe I don't know how to do them properly because all I did was learn them throughout my time working out in a gym. But I'm going to go in there and have the mental capacity and be like, I know what I'm doing. I don't need this coaching. And that's where people get hurt. Mm-hmm. And the stuff that they're doing, look, it gets you in shape. There's diets that are tied to it. It's all this stuff. I have no problem with it. I follow a lot of CrossFit people. I have a friend that competed in the CrossFit games. I think it's great. I think the sport is moving forward. There's just some concerns on some of the stuff that they're having novice people do. Like, I would never send my wife there and be like, hey, what'd you clean and snatch today? Because I'd be like, I don't expect you to do that. That's a little worrisome. But again, that's my 2 cents on it, and that's good. I'm glad you. I like having that opinion about it because I want somebody to tell me otherwise. And Mike came on and he does it, but he's also a realist like yourself. He talked about some of the things that he is concerned about.
And
as well.
Again, it's a great exercise, great sport, but you have to have basis. And again, if you look at all the great ones, there are all the great athletes. Even as Mike, you said,
yep,
he was a baseball player. Some kind of athletic.
There's something there before.
Been taught. Yes, yeah. You can be just a normal.
Like Matt Frazier, the guy who's won it for the last 4 years. He used to do Olympic lifting. That's what he did before he entered CrossFit. And his parents were figure skaters, Olympic figure skaters. So he comes from an athletic family, and he grew up doing that stuff. It is hard. You come off the street and you go and do that. Just any word of advice for anybody that does CrossFit out there, just be smart about it. Yes. Don't rush into things. Warm up, stretch.
Yes.
Because that's when injuries happen. I mean, and that's the same thing for just your normal gym goer like myself. Like, I deal with impingements in my shoulder. Mm-hmm. Why? Probably because I didn't stretch correctly, and then probably because I didn't do the exercise correctly. I wake up, my knee hurts. Well, what'd I do? You squatting this. Well, maybe I shouldn't do that anymore. I'm 34 years old, right? Like, know your body and know what you're capable of, or go get a coach you.
Hey, yeah, come on by. Oh, I work at Orthocarolina Wellness, by the way.
Orthocarolina Wellness in Matthews. If you're in Charlotte, look up Orrin Thompson. Go give him a visit. I think I'm going to get a couple free trainings out of this, right?
Of course. Come on by.
I don't know if I could handle your training. I might die.
Well, so again, it takes a special athlete to do this. Like you say, you work out by yourself, $9.99 or whatever it is a month.
Yeah.
So you're motivated. You've got that inner motivation already.
Mm-hmm.
Again, some people I'm like that. I go to the gym. I work out. I work out for 2 hours. I work for an hour. Work for 3 hours by myself, just doing random stuff. Some people just don't have that, and they need motivation from outside. Like, we have our workout set. You just walk in, we warm up, you do what I tell you to do, you cool down, you go home, and you've got people doing it with you. Kind of like CrossFit.
Yeah.
That's why, again, I love the basis of CrossFit. I just don't agree with the snatching, the heavy 6 times your body weight cleans for speed, for time, that kind of stuff.
Because then form goes out the window.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about form anymore. It's, come on, do it, and then pop, there goes your back. So again, I like lots of that stuff, and we do a lot of that. The sled pushing, HIIT training. I mean, it's awesome. It's awesome, and I agree. But just some stuff you don't need to do, and everything that we do is scalable.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can't do that, well, I was in a car accident. My shoulder doesn't work correctly. Well, I'll change it. We can change it.
Yeah, create a program that works. which is what you're trained to do.
Trained to do, yeah.
Right? Trust the professionals. Anything else?
I think that's it. I'm off my way to work right now.
Yeah. All right. Well, I appreciate you coming by, man.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me.
Again, look him up, Orrin Thompson, if you're in Charlotte, or just look him up if you want to find out more about him. He's got a Wikipedia page. I think everybody.
Do I? I don't.
You do have a Wikipedia page, yeah.
Who makes those? Some of the
It's all
information
free. Like, it's just people that just want to put it up there. I can go in there and edit it right now. I can put in there that you were on 2 Cents Worth podcast.
Go for it.
I'm not going to do that. I might if I start getting big enough. And then, like we talked about, look up Jeremy, the Greek god, who's now a doctor.
Dr. Greek God.
Dr. Greek God. All right, man. I appreciate you coming by.
Appreciate
Thanks, buddy. See you guys. Bye.